Sasha!
Hey, Jeffrey.
Good to see you again.
Again and again and again.
Has this been a week?
Another week.
So what do you think? The shit hit the fan or it didn't?
You tell me. So what's going on?
Well,
maybe I was sleeping in the office.
I don't know. It looks like anything that we ever considered normal in the world is not normal anymore. So we're living in a world that's completely effed up.
A little bit upside down. So market are crashing. People are not happy. Some people actually believe that Trump is doing a good job and like steering our country in a better position to negotiate. What do you think about that?
Probably not.
Okay. So I imagine in 2 months, maybe 3 months, because there will be no solution and people will be angry because it's not going to be better because there is no plan. There is nothing. What will be the next step after like tariffs and people animosity, country against the country? There is no solution. So people will be getting angry, and then from MAGA Republicans, they will start turning to
either the Democrats or some other solution.
They will turn to the Social Democrats. They will go blue, dark blue.
But even, like everybody says, most people don't invest. But most people, who work for companies and things like that, not farmers and things like that, people have, like their 401ks and things like that, and they've just watched the bottom fall out of these things. And so that's you know more about whether this will recover or not. My feeling is that you only lose in the stock market if you sell.
Exactly. That's a very good solution. So people don't panic, and it will be better. Because the market will recover. But to recover the market, somebody has to guide the economies, ideas of our country. And then people frustrated with Trump's policies or the lack thereof, they will start turning to somebody else. And that's why today we want to talk about the Democrats. Jeffrey, you're like born in this country. You almost a Democrat on your forehead. So who are the Democrats?
I don't know anymore. But I don't know anymore.
Who were the Democrats?
In my day, as the old fart in this conversation.
No, you're young.
In my day, I remembered the Democrats. I always thought of Democrats like Kennedy.
But what the quality? No, don't give me the
but
people.
For
quality. What did they say?
Most of the people that I think that are on the Democratic side, in fact, on the Republican side, also in our government, are terrible. They're just not qualified.
Jeffrey, you're not answering the question. You're not at the KGB, interrogation. You need to answer the question. Who were the Democrats? Blue Democrats that they we liked, maybe Bill Clinton, maybe Hillary Clinton. Who are those Democrats? What did they stand for?
Well, the last one who was sort of appreciated was probably Obama, right?
I know. Don't ask me. You're the Democrat.
I don't know. All I know is that the country is bouncing from one cliff to the other cliff.
Meaning from the blue to the red. But the point actually that I think we should talk about, Democrats are for social ideas of the social ideas of the people, how we live. We need to help people in need. We need to make sure that people earn enough money to sustain their day-to-day life. They need to be taken care of for their healthcare, education, and stuff. This types of democratic ideas of the society, no?
Yes. The question is, my question to you is that it's one thing to have ideas, and one thing whether it's a Democrat or social democrat or hard left or hard right, but when you have people that in the opinion of most people are out of control. out of control. For instance, Trump, who I think is just most of the time deranged, and the other person who's very, very dangerous for society as we know it is certainly Elon Musk. But then there's also many people in the government. The only thing that looks good, if there's a happy end to this whole thing, is that they're causing so much unrest in the country that most of the people on the Republican side are going to be out of office in 2 years.
Okay, so basically Geoff doesn't explain us anything. Thank you, Jeffrey. The point is like not today, but we elected Trump not because we like Trump. Most of the people elect Trump because they had enough of social democrats and Obama and then Joe Biden, because the country didn't go in a good direction. We in just the debt, national debt is climbing. You cannot use healthcare. It's such a expensive. You go to the hospital, you don't get service. Kids in school don't get education that we paid for with our taxes. So the country doesn't go in the right direction. That's why people voted for the revolution, the orange Jesus revolution. And now they're realizing that, hey, this is even worse. But question is, if now they're realizing that this is so bad, they want somebody who's gonna fix. So who do we turn to? And the reason of this conversation today, I want to talk to people and say hey, tomorrow, in 2 months, I'm thinking in 2 months, people will be like, oh my God, this guy in the office, this is a wrong guy. But what will the cure? Who do we talk to? Who's going to help us?
For me, the problem is that
not the problem who's going to help us.
No, but the problem to choose who's going to help us is there going to be anything left to help? That's what I'm asking you. In other words, you can only if you do a certain amount of damage, or you lose the most intelligent people in our society, the most intelligent people in our government, especially in science, the people who can fix climate change, the people who can fix the medical system.
Okay, hold on, Jeffrey. Hold on. Okay, let's
talk.
talk.
Fired.
No, hold on. So you think before Trump came to the office, everything was fine, everything was working?
Certainly not.
So why would you worry about people being fired if they didn't work good enough to fix the economy? Not because people thinking that Joe Biden had a good economy, and the problem was we were $3 trillion in debt, more or even more every year. With Joe Biden economy. With Trump economy, we were about $1 or $2 trillion a year in debt every year, during Trump first.
Yeah, but now he's figured out a way to go 5 or 7 trillion in debt, but the only difference is it doesn't take a year. He does it in 7 months.
What will be the solution? And for example, you said let's examine the what we had before. You said climate change, and I believe I'm an expert in climate change. I spent 8 years. I have a bachelor degree in physics. I spent 8 years learning, educated myself, researching. I came up with the solution and understanding of climate change. Do you think anybody cared? Do you think any news, I got only to New York Weekly with my article. USA Today didn't publish the article, they changed my article, so it would be totally different. You cannot get, it's been all corrupt. It's my way or highway.
Yeah.
In healthcare, you go to the healthcare, there are people from the street, the homeless people, people from different countries without visa. They go in line, they get in line, you cannot get health care. So like people are frustrated with these Democrats.
Yes, but yeah, I agree. But now people are frustrated with the Republicans.
Good.
So,
Okay.
so yeah, but if you have the frustration on both sides, what is the cure?
I will give the cure at the end of the video. First, I just want to show the
Hopefully not after the camera shut off.
But first, I want to just show the parallel. It's not that Democrats were offering something good like for us fixing something. Healthcare rising cost, insurance rising cost, and like education is totally chaos. Like in a school education, high like level education, and the problem is constantly, if you don't have money, like enough money, like to pay for, let's say, military, education, healthcare, the social democrats, they say like, hey, no worries, rich people. Jeffrey, are you rich, by the way?
I wish.
But because if you were a rich person, you would pay for those people who not rich. So I'm asking people, and please comment, like tell us, what do you think, who is rich? What is definition of the rich person? It's a money, like is it $100,000 a year income or assets, million, 1 billion? Who are those rich people?
Well, right now there's a big difference between rich and wealthy.
Who are, because them
The rich people today, you know, we're talking about a great deal of money. You have to have a great deal of money, and that's a limited number of people. Limited enough. The main thing is that most people, they go to school, they go to university. The end goal is to become rich, or they become well educated, so they have the possibility to become rich. Now the thing is that if the whole society, if the whole structure of our civilization is being destroyed, then becoming rich is almost not the question anymore. It's becoming
negative.
survival.
It's actually becoming rich. It's negative now.
Yeah.
In a capitalistic society like United States, the whole country was built because of the process to become rich. You spend money, you spend energy, and you get there, like you become somebody, and the money shows your success. There is nothing wrong to be rich. But with the social democrats, Hillary Clinton, what is his name, Bernie Sanders, and other like social democrats, you're rich, it means you're bad. Evil corporations. And I'm driving to the point that with the social democrats, the answer, like how to save the country, how to make the country great, is to tax rich, and somebody has to pay for somebody. This is not the answer in any society.
It's like Robin Hood, you know, like steal from the rich and give to the poor. Here's the question. Can you explain to everybody here what is... Everybody here, everybody there.
Okay,
so can you explain to everybody, what is a social democrat? What is a democrat?
That's, you see, they even don't know. They think social democrats, they say that they stand for. You see, the problem is, and this is very good that you ask. You see how Trump manipulated the whole country and the whole world. We had Democrats. Democrats exhausted their power, selling power of ideas to the people. So they became a social democrats, and they said like, listen, you don't have to work. What we do, we will take from rich people. If you don't have enough money, we will have from rich people and evil corporations. We will get money from them and pay for your education, for your health, because you cannot make it. You just walk. You cannot make it, so we will give it to you. So that's becoming a social democrats. Democrats were okay with the capitalistic society, with the modern social programs. no socialistic programs, social programs when on a short period of time we will pay for something so you get on your feet and you start producing and be part of the society. Am I still okay?
Yes, for me, I still think we're talking in generalizations.
Always.
Why? Yeah, but the problem is that most people don't think in terms of generalization. They think in terms of what is my situation now?
Okay.
And that's serious because, people are hoping for an education. They're hoping that they can work. Society has changed a great deal. In the old days, the guys went to work, the women stayed home, things like that. That's not that way. Everybody works. Women work, men work, children work, high school people work. It's so expensive.
Trump forks.
Life, what's it?
Trump forks.
Occasionally.
On the golf.
Yeah.
But what's the point?
For me, he's never done an honest day's work.
Yeah,
in his life. But anyway, but the difference is that if we're thinking that way, we have to understand that everybody's situation is different. A farmer sees everything from his position as a farmer, a factory worker from a factory, an educator, a teacher, a director of a university, director of something. Everybody has a different perspective. Everything has to work competently.
But what's the point? How it's like we're talking about right now that Democrats, like we're trying to understand what the Democrats can do for the country. And now, like I'm explaining, and you asked the question, and I'm explaining, the Democrats stopped bringing anything to those categories that you named because they cannot reach them anymore. So what they become as social democrats, because they need to get in power and say like, listen, if you cannot make more money, we will take it from the rich. We will give you free education, free medical health care. So you don't have to push yourself. You don't have to do much. That's social democrats. What Trump did, he actually brilliant. He's brilliant man. Can you believe this?
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt for the next 5 minutes.
Okay, but listen what he did. The same thing with the social democrats, because Democrats didn't work. Republicans stopped working. Ideology of Republicans stopped working long time ago. Their idea was, you work, you make money, you be prosper, you will be independent, you pay your bills, you're the man, you're the family, you're the woman. Doesn't work. Why? You don't want to work hard. If you don't want to work hard, because most of the people, they want just easy way. But you cannot get elected with the majority of the people if people don't want to do it hard. Most of the people want to just live normally. But you have to offer them something. So Republicans couldn't offer anything. So then, as Democrats and Social Democrats, Trump said, hey, I am a MAGA Republican. It doesn't matter what it is. But this is a different way of, you see how the parallel. He went to the right and he says, MAGA Republicans, it's different. You don't have to work. The other country owe you. You understand the idea? China owes you. Mexico owes you. How do they owe you? We don't know. But they owe you. Everybody owes you. So that way people say, I don't have to work anymore. I would just elect Trump and everybody will pay us tariffs. They will build the walls. They will bring free goods. That's how Trump won the general idea, general votes, because people in generally they want easy solution.
But even the calculation that he uses for the tariffs is senseless.
Yeah, but I don't want to go into details.
But some of the details make a difference because right now we're in a trade war.
Yeah, but I get. But this is not. Yeah, but this is not the subject. I'm trying to make a parallel for people today. That today they will start in 2 months. They would hate the idea Trump in the office, and they will start like they would think like, who do we turn to? What will be the solution? And I'm explaining that this whole Democrats and Social Democrats, Republicans and MAGA Republicans, it's all bullshit, complete stupidity. This is not the right way to do it. And do we want to like talk about what the right way to do it?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. But can you actually give an example of somebody that you admire who might be leaning toward the right way?
It's not about right way meaning like the
Right-
purple
right-
vision,
right way
purple
according to
vision,
the-
purple
I,
vision.
I should mention that I was so interested after our last video. I actually downloaded the audio book of the Purple Vision, and I listened to the whole book in the last 3 days again. It's not that long, and it's but you learn a lot. Still.
But what's okay? So what's your like? Before I will make a conclusion, I want you like, what did you learn? Like you let me just go and grab the book again. I forgot to. So here's the book. What did you learn, Jeffrey?
The chapters are not that long. They're short, but they get to a point rather quickly, which I love.
Thank you.
But there's so many things that have to be talked about. And if everybody made an effort to at least follow the basics of each chapter, which means for climate change, he makes a good point. We don't fix the glaciers, there's no climate change.
So there's no fixing.
There's no fixing climate change. In terms of education, you can't give education completely for free, but you can,
because it has value.
Yeah.
You cannot. And I apologize because in this book, it's every chapter is solution, and this is actually. I just want to conclude this video. We will make it sweet and short.
Okay.
The point is that in what we need to do as a country, we need to stop going right and left and right. We need to start asking people what do they have as a plan. You cannot elect a person because he's good, he is businessman. What does it mean? He's like bright, he's black, he's white. You cannot make if you elect somebody, ask what is his plan, and if you like the plan and it's a working plan, vote for this guy or the lady. But in my book, The Purple Vision, I'm explaining what's going on with the country, how we radicalized, and then I'm taking each segment, each department, each category, like for example, military. We're spending 900 billion today, or 800 billion dollars today. For what? We have like aircraft carriers in a sea. There are 21 aircraft carriers. We don't need aircraft carriers 21 and then 4 or 5 helicopter carriers. We don't need that. So many people we get like in our military. Military has changed. It's all drones. It's all in a space.
But on the other hand, the military-industrial complex wants the government to have 21 carriers. They want them to have, aircraft that can do amazing things that will never be used.
Exactly, but you have to spend for maintenance.
Yeah.
Each aircraft you have to maintain for $1 billion a year for no reason. We have people who are not qualified to be in the military. These guys, like I was 2 years in Soviet military, not like any combat operations, but in Soviet Union, people are like, it's like always like fights, always like something. So people are ready to be in the military. In our country, people are not ready to be in tough situations. And most of the people, not most, but some or many, just being like 1 or 2 days at the military places, they coming back with PTSD or something, PTSD. They coming back, they start like going to the hospitals, and there is expenditure after expenditure. The point is this about the military. World is changed. We need to change the complete idea of the military. It's space, it's drones. So enough of this. You're talking about education, how to fix education. Read my book. But education, you don't fix education, but giving people free loans. People don't appreciate. Jeffrey, would you like to go to educate yourself, like to the university? Say yes.
I've been there, done that.
But no, say
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, Jeffrey is here. He's gonna go like to State College Northridge because Northridge will take him. He's gonna apply for the FAFSA loan. You're gonna get the loan because you're low income today because you this and this. You will be qualified for a free education. You will educate yourself for 1 year. You will take a space of other people. You will use the money, and you will say like, you know what? I don't want like that education. I will go to a different education, and you will be going to educate yourself and your place at the time, at your age, and we will pay for Jeffrey education. Would you pay for Jeffrey education, please?
At my age, it's too late.
No, it's not too late.
I'm kidding.
But if you want to educate yourself, pay. Don't try for my money like to educate yourself.
I understand. We're getting too. Education is a bad subject to start with. I think it's too. It's too complex. Also, with what's going on in the because of the administration that's in there today, it's hard to think about how to fix education when his main purpose is to destroy it. So that's my opinion.
But I agree with you. Plus you see, we had but that's the whole point. We had Democrats who just give free loans. If you have Social Security, the same idea about like if you remember, like if you're American, you deserve to have a house. People, okay, do you guys have a program for the free house? No, we don't have a free house for you, but we will have 1% loan. You can get a loan for 1%. So people just like, you have a Social Security, you can get a loan for 1% to buy a house. The same thing with education. You come to education to get educated wherever it is, and you get a loan for asking. There is no credentials. You get a loan which is secured by United States government. So you don't know do you need that education, but you put yourself in a jeopardy for the rest of your life. And then you're asking Biden to clean this, how do you say,
to forgive the loans.
Forgive the loans. This is bullshit. Your friend Trump comes.
Yeah. Who basically has no education.
But he's got he paid for it.
Everybody says look, you have to listen to me. I'm a great businessman. If you call a great businessman somebody who went bankrupt 5 times, that for me is not a good exaggeration of a great businessman. When he brings in people like for instance Musk, who is supposedly a great businessman, at least he's able to make a lot of money in business. Well, how much he actually does himself, we can all debate. But our problem now is that we have to fix, in my opinion, the political system in the United States, because everything now, especially under Trump, is being decided based on politics and not based on what Trump proclaims he's basing it on, which means that you're very good at what you do. I forgot the words he used. That you hire people, you fire people based on merit. That was it. And it's not what's happening, because he's putting people with the smallest amount of merit and smallest amount of merit-based decisions in the highest positions, and these people got there having never been.
But okay, Jeffrey, this is a good point.
But something has to change somewhere.
Okay.
For me, politics should have much less to do with the way the government functions.
But the government is chosen by people, And people need to be educated what they voting for, who they voting for. They have to understand. That's why you need to read the book to educate yourself. Because what's going to happen is this. You choose a person who is not qualified, but Trump and Musk, they're very smart people. It's not that they have an idea how to fix the country, how to do it, but they're smart people. They're not there is a reason they're on the top and the rich, both rich and wealthy. But my point, and I want to finish that the point is today we are looking for answers. And answer is not in a, and you said it very correctly, people looking for political solutions. But political solutions starting with the choosing right politicians. And politicians need to be chosen by their merit. It's the same like employees. They have to show you what they have as a plan for you. And today we have like social democrats, they destroying our country. And opposing social democrats, we have MAGA Republicans, they destroying our country. We need not political movements, we need people with the ideas how to fix. And we have to take each industry, each segment of our country, like living of our country, and fix department by department. It's like let me just say this. Department by department, what it means, like if you master's degree like in something, you MBA 101, if you changing the structure of your corporation, of the company, how you fix your company, you don't fix the whole company, you fix one department and you see how it fares with the other departments. You go department by department. You don't destroy, as Trump destroying like education, the Department of Education. It's idiotic because somebody has to manage the whole country education. He should have put somebody to manage, not to kill that department.
Well, for me, what's terrible, what's going on in this country is we've abandoned truth. That's the most serious thing that's happened, because
consequences.
Yeah,
and consequence. If you lie,
if you lie to the public every single day, where almost every word out of your mouth is just one fantasy, one nonsense after another. When you abandon truth in the courts, when you abandon truth in government, when you abandon truth in Congress, when if you keep going in this direction, there's no return. It's like the beginning of the end.
Exactly. So let's finish with that, and hopefully you will read my book, you will listen us, put likes, subscribe for our channels, because this is important, and we will bring you solutions. This videos not about blaming and finding problems. We're trying to bring people to solve our situation. We want to live better.
But one thing that is good, I hope you've been following current events this weekend. I mean, this last week has been a financial disaster for everyone. However, the one good thing that's come out of it is that there are unbelievable demonstrations, especially today, happening everywhere. We're not a couple of hundreds of thousands of people demonstrating in Washington, in Seattle, in Los Angeles, in Chicago, in Philadelphia, everywhere.
Yeah, they demonstration, but they demonstrate about they don't like. But people need to know where to go. And that's exactly, if you listen this video, the way to go, educate yourself and find, like in your local politicians, find a good person with a vision, with a plan, and you vote from the bottom to the top.
And just as I said last week, the first thing we have to do is to vote out of office all of these people who are only interested in being in office for their own benefits and not the benefits of the country. It's all about, sadly, the Supreme Court.
Jeffrey, let's cut
Yeah,
it.
the Supreme Court is basically come to the conclusion that the richest people have a right to choose how this country works.
Jeffrey,
That's bad.
thank you guys
All right,
so much.
so
And,
that was my last idiotic comment.
no, it's good, but we can go and go. Take care, guys.
Okay, we'll see you soon. All right, bye now.